So I bought a Porsche Boxster because me and a friend wanted to make some money flipping cars on Marketplace, right? And we got this Boxster for like a third of its price. And the guy said it was a cam position sensor. So we replaced the cam position sensor. It was in a really hard spot to get to. That's why we thought he didn't do it, because it was in a really difficult spot to get to. Tell me why the code doesn't go away. It's because the cam was actually in the wrong spot. There's something that you got to do on these engines. It's replacing the wear pads, and you have to take the cams out in order to replace these wear pads. And whoever replaced the wear pads put the cam back in the wrong position, so the cam was literally off a tooth on the timing chain physically. So we had to drop the whole engine in order to get in there, because it's impossible to get to those cams without dropping the engine. And we fix it, and we drive it, and it overheats, right? And I'm like, all right, this is fine. We just have to get it smogged so we can sell it, because we bought this thing and it wasn't smogged, so I don't have the title, because you can't get a title without a smog. And we were like, all right, we'll just fix it in a week so we can get the title. Well, it's still not fixed because it won't pass smog. The smog guy tells me that some checks aren't cleared or whatever, so I'm driving around to clear those air smog checks or whatever that crap is, and this thing goes into limp mode and it dies. The reason why it died is because the main fuse for the ECU, TCU, and the immobilizer blew. So I start tearing the car apart to find the electrical issue that blew the fuse, because it could be anything. It could be the transmission control unit itself, the ECU unit itself, the immobilizer, which is a huge problem, anything to do with the central locking system, anything to do with the engine wiring harness. There could be a short anywhere that blew that fuse, and because that fuse is blown, nothing gets powered, so the car won't run. So I found a short in the engine bay from an aftermarket part that was added. It was a boost control valve on a car that doesn't have any boost. So I fixed that, and then I go to address the overheating issue, and I pull off the thermostat, and the thermostat is fried. Tell me why the guy who sold us this car just straight up lied to us. He told us that his wife was just driving around one day, and the code out of the blue showed up, and the car started running funny. That is not what happened at all. The camshaft was installed incorrectly, it had overheating issues, it had shorts, and so he sold it because he couldn't fix it. The original rationale was that the cam position sensor was just bad, so that's why it threw the code, because it thought that the camshaft was out of position, but that didn't explain why the car was actually running bad. After we found out that the cam position sensor was fine, we figured that the wear pads were so worn out that it was throwing the cam out of position because there was so much slack in the chain. That's what motivated us to drop the engine in the first place, and we tear this thing apart, and the wear pads are brand new. So then we concluded that the cam was out of position. So we put it where it was supposed to be, reinstalled it, and then the check engine light went away, but then we had all these other issues. Whenever you buy a car off Marketplace, make sure you really know that car beforehand, because we didn't even know what this Boxster was all about. We knew that Porsches were difficult to work on, but we didn't know like anything about this specific car. So it's been a huge problem to get this car fixed. And I don't even know if it's going to work. I don't even know if it's still going to run right after all this.